Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Can you see me and hear me? Good morning. All right, let's get started. Had a little issue this morning at the post office, but we are back on track. Let's see. Okay, let's get started. Let me slide up here. How is Miss Walker's health today, and is she getting better or worse? I kind of read this as no change, almost like things aren't really improving, but there's efforts being made to improve them, but they're not improving, but they're not necessarily getting worse either. It does feel almost like there's some kind of temporary progress coming, but I don't know if it's as much progress that is needed. But there's some kind of improvement coming or some kind of alleviation of like things getting worse, whereas maybe you thought things were about to get worse and they don't, or there's progress coming. My son Adam is dating a new girl. Will this be a good relationship that lasts, or is this the temporary one you spoke of in earlier readings? This would be the temporary one. There's a lesson in communication that's coming through here. And then there's some kind of like completion of a previous cycle closing out through this connection. It's almost like, how do I word this? When you're trying to cut like a bungee cord and there's like one final snip before it lets go. It's like that. Oh, that's kind of what I meant. It's kind of like that. It's like the completion of a lesson, which doesn't mean that it has to be necessarily something that's really bad that happens. It's more of just like practicing communication styles through difficulties or through hurdles, I guess I could say. Message from my guides for the week and a song. I don't have music playing. Get a song first. Oh, the song is Moon, and the first part out was Moon in reverse. This is something coming to the surface so that you can put it down. You don't have to carry, this is the after tarot. So usually he's carrying the whole burden, but here he's sitting down with it. Fear of vulnerability. Putting it down. Almost like comfortable vulnerability is coming into a certain situation or scenario so that a certain wound can be released. So it's not a punishment, it's an opportunity to be in receiving mode, receiving support from another. Message from my grandfather, Ray, in spirit and a song. There's something about passing on either a mindset, a belief system. It's almost like a WWJD type of thing, but like what would Ray do is kind of the energy. It's like he's proud of the way you're passing along something that's like his energy signature. So you're embodying his energy in some way and passing it along. I am with the rest of the family, and although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. Forever Young by Bob Dylan is the song. Dreamt Ashley wearing a coral orange and white v-neck. You know, it's funny. I was wearing a coral orange dress over the weekend. That, what day was that? Saturday night? You were talking to me like, yeah, you just got to get out of there. Empowering. Gave me a reading. Can't remember it. What was the message? You were talking to me like, yeah, you just got to get out there. Empowering. Taking off the blindfold and using your voice in a louder or more straightforward way because you've healed this inner child. It's like your inner child is ready to speak through you. Your inner child is ready to speak its healing through you in terms of your words or actions, is essentially the message. So get out there is like letting your inner child out there with the healing. That's funny. I was literally wearing out. I don't know if I have a picture. Look. I need to trap a litter of kittens and mama for a better life. I've overcome with anxiety, not being able to get them all. Any messages of comfort or good outcome? It's I see this being difficult. I feel as though you do as much as you can in this case, but there's still something that you wish you could do more of. I know you're looking for something empowering. I feel like it ends up being as best as it can, but there's something that you're not able to all the way correct. So I don't know if that means like not being able to get to one of them or something like that. Or maybe having an issue with one of them once you do get them. Or maybe them. I would say you end up about 80% happy with what unfolds. So you're getting the best that you can out of the situation. Is there a message from my grandson H? Who did it? Knight of Pentacles, the Star in reverse. Someone who's very trustworthy externally, or appears to be very trustworthy externally, but behind the scenes, they're not that same way. Behind the scenes, they're this monster. See how they're both looking in their own reflection? This is someone it feels like was very wishing that they could be seen in the way that H was seen, if that makes sense. Like some kind of envious energy. Yeah, the Sun in reverse. Someone who wishes they could be seen the way that he was seen. King of Cups. So someone who appears to be a King of Cups upright publicly, but behind the scenes, privately, they're a King of Cups in reverse. So manipulative, emotionally unavailable, using people's emotions against them. A song from my mother. Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac. Oh, mother and child. You. Oh, don't stop, my child. Don't stop, comma, my child. The bond we share is unbreakable and unforgettable. I'm very proud of you. Keep pushing through. Oh, don't stop. Keep pushing through. Mama is direct. Will we receive a large settlement soon? I see it coming, but I see it maybe not being as large as you'd like. Maybe there's like, it doesn't feel like something's misrepresented. It feels almost like maybe there's fees that you didn't take into account, or maybe there's like a percentage of something that goes somewhere else and you don't get as much, but it does feel like it is coming. I almost want to say like 75% of what you're anticipating it being. Around 70 to 75%. Heard a second message spoken to answer a question and ask my team. Was this my guide, Eric? Or my guide channeling Eric? And will there be? Yes. High Priestess. Queen of Wands in reverse. So answers being passed to you for some form of protection. Second message spoken to an answer I asked my team. So almost like if you are trying to pivot so that you're facing the right picture on the wall, it's like you were off a little bit and this message was supposed to adjust you so that you were understanding it correctly head on, if that makes sense. Will there be more clairaudience? I would say yes, because it's like the message coming from within there. Any message from my spirit guides? Needing to get a hold of or control of your sleeping. I don't know if it's like you're not getting restful sleep or you're not sleeping enough. We have a sacral chakra blockage, and that's someone who's in a bed there. So it does feel like almost like there's sleep anxiety where you may not be, there may be some resistance to sleep because you almost like peace feels weird right now, and sleep would be like peacefulness. And it's coming from something that's arising in the sacral chakra. So it feels like relating to expression that's been repressed. So needing to express what's been repressed. And as you do that, you'll find the sleeping improving as well. Any big event? Let me change this playlist really quick. Any big event coming in 2024? There's an opportunity to heal. I wouldn't really word this as a big event. I would word this as there's big healing coming in from something that shifts minorly. It's the Fool's reverse. It's like this isn't something big that happens. It's something small that happens that ends up being a big deal because of what it heals or because of what it shows you that it heals. This feels like some kind of opportunity to speak or engage in a conversation that is that small thing that leads to big healing. How did G feel about R coming to the pool Saturday? And did he tell her she couldn't wear a swimsuit? It's How did G feel about R coming to the pool Saturday? It feels like I don't want you there, and I'm trying to delay something. So either I was trying to figure out if I could get you to not come, or I was trying to figure out how to, maybe it could be prevent you from getting into a swimsuit, trying to see how far I can get you to not. Because there's some kind of, almost like you're not listening to me or change being resisted. Did he tell her she couldn't wear a swimsuit? I would say yes. King of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Pentacles, self-preservation. King of Pentacles in reverse, like you must listen to me. I would say yes. And go to some of these. Is Carmelita purposely trying to sabotage my job and get me into trouble or worse? It's a money move, a power money move. It's maybe this person did something that they're trying to hide, but by bringing attention to you, or it's like there's only enough room for one of us and it's got to be me type of thing, money wise or promotion wise. Yeah, High Priestess. I would say it's more trying to sabotage your job than it is to get you in trouble. But if there's a need to get you in trouble to sabotage your job, they would do it. Where's that other deck at? 1 second. There it is. Thank you for becoming a member. People will come back into your life after they get disappointed by people they thought were better than you. Did John O'Keefe open the automatic trash can in my bathroom? Is he my guide? Two opposing forces working together, some kind of fresh start, taking back a love offer. I would almost word this as you were thinking about something relating to him, and this happening simultaneously may have felt like it was that, and not that he's not a guide, but this almost feels like open the automatic trash can. It almost feels like that instance was more of like your spirit team trying to finish a thought that you were having that would have made sense in. So like the opening of something maybe would have been the reference, or the trash can maybe would have been the reference. This feels like less about who it was and more about what it meant for you, because it was completing some kind of thought, if that makes sense. Not that he's not a guide, but that's what I'm getting. Message from my spirit guides. There's some kind of stepping out of your comfort zone that you're worried about taking, but it's actually going to work out in your favor more than you expect. It's something about showing yourself your growth or showing yourself what you're capable of. You're gripping onto some kind of comfort zone, and you're going to start to see opportunities to break out of the comfort zone, and you're being guided to follow that because it's going to work out in your favor, even if it feels a little scary. Back to this list. My son is going to New York in September to watch a Mets game. Will he be safe? Safe, yes, but I'm almost wondering if there's like some kind of fight between him and whoever he goes with. Not like a physical fight, but like we're not necessarily getting along as good as we could be with whoever he's going with. But safety, yes, I do see safe. It almost feels like a potential like maybe like drunk misunderstanding or something to that effect. Not anything serious, but safety, yes. Maybe a little bit of annoyance also, yes. Any messages? Yes. There's action needed when it comes to business. Correcting something correcting some kind of unintentional self-sabotage. It doesn't feel like self-sabotage is the right way to word that. Almost like when you need to put gas in your car and you're letting it get very low because the next gas station is a little further away. It's like that. It's like needing to refuel to take some kind of action. And it has something to do with like almost like what comes next in business is how I feel like I should word that. Any messages from Daisy? There's a need to get clear about something that's making you feel like there's no solution, because if you write down the pros and cons list or something like that, or like your possible options, it's almost like there's a message of you feel like there's no solution, but if you sat down and really like looked at the issue on paper, you'd be able to see that there's a solution available already to help you start to feel like yourself again, because whatever this is weighing you down and draining your energy. It feels like something relating to finances. Why is this not coming up? There we go. Got a message from horoscopes saying in need to hear a spiritual message. What is it? There's an opportunity to heal what's been holding you back from expression so that things can start to fall into place. Cynicism and attachment. It's almost like there's a negative outcome in the past that you've been attached to because you're anticipating this cycle repeating, but you're breaking out of the cycle that you anticipate it repeating. So there's a need to let something go, which is why it's coming to the surface. So it's not a punishment, it's a release, whatever it is that's coming to the surface. Almost like so you can reframe a past perceived failure and realize it wasn't a failure, it was a necessary not even lesson, but like a necessary perspective. I heard a sweet hi the other night. Was it one of my guides, possibly named Aubrey? Not, yes, a guide, but not who you think it was. This feels like masculine energy. This feels like someone that you would have known. This feels more like mediumship than spirit guide. So like a connection that you actually had on Earth, it feels like. Go to a playlist and shuffle to the 5th song. There'll be a clue about who it was. Go back to this list for a minute. So proud my little brother stepped up after my mom passed. A message for him from her. Oh. There's certain tools that he has embodied because of that stepping up, right? So like I step up and I don't recognize at the time, but it's actually increasing my ability to, it feels like different pieces of like leadership. So essentially the message is use that to your advantage, like using the tools that he attained through the stepping up is keeping her name alive, is producing something in her honor. So it's almost like this feeling of like, don't shy away from the remembrance of what it felt like to step up into that position, because it prepared him to step up into that position going forward. I'm so happy here, carefree with no earthly worries. Thank you for all you have done for me. It's pretty direct. Let me get a song. 1 second. Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Martin Gaye is the song. Messages from guardian angels. What is your purpose? Your purpose is quite literally to transmute what you've been through and use it as fuel. It doesn't feel like you're all the way doing that yet. There may be something that you're feeling stuck in. Feels like the only way out is through needing to communicate what you've experienced and learned based off of your experience, your specific experiences. So let's say we take the 2 or 3 hardest moments of your life and look at what did this teach me? What was the common theme? And how can I help the collective or guide others or teach others based off of those instances? There's a feeling of like quite literally rising through the ashes. What previously burnt everything down is what you rise back up through. So let's just say, for example, this is like a lighter energy of this, but like, let's just say you constantly struggled with money wounds or like loss of finances or loss of property. That could translate into helping people with self-concept or self-worth, or it could translate into being an accountant. So we're looking at like either the practical 3D side or the spiritual side of those more difficult time periods or themed lessons in your life, if that makes sense. Wise decision, accurate, brilliant, organized, and validated. Yeah, you're validating what you previously went through. Messages from your guardian angels, it feels like there's a bunch there that are trying to help push you through this particular lesson. Excuse me. Should I have ankle surgery at HSS or WPH? HSS, WPH. I don't know if this is referencing scheduling being better at WP. The answer is WPH, but I don't know if it's because of the quickness of scheduling, or I don't know if it's like them making you feel rushed through the process, but there's something about timing being off with HSS, which would make WPH the better option. Come on, phone. For healing going forward, WPH. I've been thinking about my maternal grandparents a lot lately out of the blue. Do they have a message? Needing to process what you're not recognizing is actually a generational wound. Spiritual clarity, confusion, energy imbalances. Yeah, something making you feel off because of repressed feelings or repressed emotions. What is this in reference to? Needing to express grief instead of carrying it. There's a certain element of grief that needs to be put down. It almost feels like it's been triggered within the last like week or so, but it almost feels like it didn't present as grief. It presented as like anger or discomfort or like wanting to dim. But that is the surface manifestation of what is grief that needs to be processed. So needing to sit with and process grief. Imagine by John Lennon is the song. Go back over here. My birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Any messages from guides or past loved ones? So the theme of this year is inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, and laying foundations. You're getting, this is like a tree underground root system thing. So you're getting to the root of things that you still need to learn the truth of about yourself. So you're learning the truth about yourself by getting to the root. It feels like there's going to be a lot of self-exploration this year so that you can make a break from the past and start to trust yourself again. I do feel like I'm being guided to tell you to journal or to channeled writing or channeled drawing. It's like there's almost, if you could do that weekly at least this year. This year's really focused on self-exploration and getting to the root of what's coming to the surface. It's like you're seeing the surface and you need to dig down to the root of what's coming to the surface is the theme of this year. What am I missing about my mom? She's sneaky. Trying to keep control of a certain narrative so that you cannot, I almost want to word this as make sense. If I control the narrative, nothing you say can make sense if you don't have the full scope of what you're talking about. So it feels like hiding. Yeah. I'm not trying to deal with the heartache of not being able to control the narrative. Usually, okay, so this is after tarot. So usually they're all up fighting, but since it's the scene after, they're all sitting down. It's like, I don't want you to be able to make sense and have things to say that would go against what I'm trying to make people believe. Am I on the right track in life? Or if not, what should I adjust? I would say you're on the right track, but there is going to be some kind of pivot that's coming up, almost like you've gotten everything you can out of this particular chapter, and now it's time to close it and go on to the next one, but it's going to require your committed action. Almost like you're at this impasse and it's time for you to decide if you want to keep going in the direction you're going, or if you want to take some kind of chance on yourself to evolve into like a higher position. This feels career related. I'm hearing there's nothing to worry about as you take these chances on yourself. So you're right where you need to be to get to where you want to go. But now it's up to you to decide if you're okay being comfortable, or if you want to strive for more. And in order to strive for more, you're going to have to decide what it is that you want and be very committed to stepping outside of your comfort zone to make that happen. Who are my guides? There's a certain situation in your life in the past. If this feels like maybe like a bad breakup, it could be like a friendship breakup, but it feels more like a relationship breakup. It's almost like you felt like, I'm not going to make it through this. And then it ended up being easier than you anticipated. That was the time that these particular guides that are strongly with you now came in. Yeah, form of protection of you. Focused on showing you opportunities where you can pour into yourself so that you can actually refill your cup and not just continuously pour out for others. Specifically geared around reminding you of your own self-worth, which is why it started at that point in time with that breakup. Will our sale go through on our house? Yes, I feel like there's something specifically you're very worried about. So I don't know if it's potentially, no, it feels like the sale that you're talking about is the sale that goes through. Because I was going to say maybe potentially that one falls through and a different one comes in quickly, but this feels like this one goes through. There's something that you're worried about that's not going to happen. So maybe you're worried about them pulling out, or maybe you're worried about maybe like some kind of inspection or something. Whatever the fear is, it's going to be okay. So it does feel like yes. Any messages from my spirit guides? There's a certain connection with another person that's being highlighted here. You're about to see either how a solution could come into play, or you're about to see like where the wound is in the other person. So like almost like if you're questioning why is this person acting like this, it's almost like you see the wound that's causing the person to act like that. Or there's something that needs to happen between or involving you and another person, and you start to see the solution for it. Will my finances get better anytime soon? I don't feel as soon as you'd like. There's some kind of action that could be taken though here. There's someone that you haven't conversed with that when you converse with this person, it would open up the opportunity for things to start to shift. I don't know if that means like a side job or like funding, or depending on your situation, but it feels like there's a conversation that needs to happen. And as you find the right person to have this conversation with, that's when things start to shift. It doesn't feel like they're going to shift before that. Almost like there's an outside interference that's going to work in your favor, but you have to find it or find who that is or what that is. It could be some kind of like debt relief. It could be some kind of side job. It could be some kind of tax relief break, but I don't take that literally, like a relief of some kind of debt that's making you have to pay a lot into it, almost like a refinancing type energy, needing to take action on something like that. Any messages for me? There's this feeling of like, I need support, but I don't know how to be in that receiving mode for it. But it doesn't feel like directly. It feels like just needing to like be seen. Oh, alienation wound. Something's making you feel like outside looking in and unable to get the support. But it doesn't feel like you need like support. This is more just like I need a friend to like chat with or something to that effect. But like needing to see yourself releasing in the conversation, but something's making you feel like you have to like shut down or hold back right now. So there's a need to start to slowly step out of that. Yeah, the Tower. Slowly step out of that. The only way out is through. There's something making you feel like you have to dim, and the way to counteract that is to just start walking in the opposite direction and start being in the mode of receiving and start to kind of share and show yourself again in whatever way you're fearing, because that will release whatever's keeping you stuck in that energy of not feeling like yourself. Message from my guides for the week and a song. You're about to find out that you were very right about someone you viewed as untrustworthy. Almost like you're about to get the proof of what you already expected. But it doesn't feel like you catch someone doing something. And this feels more like either they show you true colors in something they say or do, or maybe you hear something from another person. It doesn't feel like anything's done to you. It just feels like you find out about something that you suspected to be the case about another person. Only by NF is the song. Message from Chris and a song. It's like there's a wrapping up of a lesson that somehow involved Chris. That's the now. Like you're coming into an understanding of something that you didn't understand before. You know how beetles make that like chirpy type noise? It's almost like there's been static in your mind and it's about to be cleared because you're about to get some kind of answers for it. Summer Breeze by Thiels and Crofts is the song. I'm going to try my best to get through all of these and the other lists. I'm going to stay on probably about another 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Will there be specific reasons my mom picked Dee Dee dog to give my sister Jamie before she passed? Something she's supposed to learn from the dog. It feels more like continuing to push through when you don't feel like doing something, but have the responsibility to it. Like I feel depleted, but I have to keep pushing myself for this. That feels like it relates to your mom's passing. Like almost like she anticipated Jamie having a very hard time. But like, if you have to continue to care for the dog, you have to care for yourself enough to care for the dog, and you have to kind of keep yourself getting up and going forward. It feels like that. Oh, yeah. Going forward. 6 would be going into calmer waters. I love you with all my soul's being, and I always give you a good night kiss. Oh, and so that the energy of your mom would be embodied in the animal that she spent a lot of time with. So it's like her energy kind of being present still as well. Who was I, or what did I do in the life before this one? Animals, magic, rebel. Kind of giving like hippie vibes. Like I'm one with nature. This is literally a hippie type bust. This feels like a recent, almost like you had this past lifetime and then you came right back into this one. This feels like very nomadic, very free spirit energy, especially with the lovers. They're naked outside. Not that you were, but like it kind of gives that same hippie energy. It almost feels like not really having a plan for yourself, but more just going with the flow in an energy of love and seeing where that takes you. My son Adam went kayaking yesterday. I've tried to call a few times last night and this morning with no answer, which is unusual. Is he okay? Yes, okay, but there may be something like I don't want to be around people right now. I don't want to talk to people right now. I need a minute. Nothing bad happened. He's fine. But almost like I can't get out of my own head about something, and I'm temporarily shunning myself from communicating with other people. Yeah, I would say when I just got this card, I said, so say that she has nothing to worry about, and then this one came out as truth. So nothing to worry about, but more of just maybe like an emotional hurdle of some kind. With what? Body spirit dissonance. I feel disconnected, or I want to disconnect because I feel discomfort and it's making me want to disconnect. It doesn't feel like anything physically is wrong. This is more like emotionally, I just need a minute. After this one, I'm going to go back to the other list. Why is CS constantly watching my social media? Well, you're right. This is a commitment. This is I'm unable to walk away. Something's throwing me off balance. Lack of communication. Either trying to figure out what to say to you, how to say something to you, or wondering why you haven't said anything to them, or trying to figure out your energy based off of what you're saying on social media. So you might not be talking about an issue between the two of you, but based off of what you're saying, they're trying to gauge how you feel about that. Go back to this list. How will my son get on with his new teacher? She might not teach the way that he learns best. So there may be a learning curve to figure out how to learn best under her instruction. So it may be a little bit more studying. It may be like breaking down the notes differently or something like that. But it's almost like I can learn from you, but I need to take extra steps because of some kind of gap in the way that you teach, I guess. Like, not that the teaching is wrong, but just not the best for how he understands extra effort needed. Where am I? Big token. What is that? Looks like the Devil card. Okay, let's see what that means. Justice, Queen of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. There's incoming justice for a situation where someone wronged you because you've taken back your power. Other people weren't able to pull you out of character, and you're about to be rewarded for that in some way. Messages and a song. You need to be present in yourself to address what's coming to the surface right now. Happiness is a choice, but you need to be present to choose it. It feels like what's being corrected here is some kind of money wound or some kind of lack of purpose wound. It could be. So things are coming to the surface so you can unpack them and learn the completion of the lesson. It's almost like as you do that, you get a puzzle piece and then you put together the bigger picture. So there's a need to really focus on grounding right now. For some reason, I'm feeling called like a crafty one. That would make sense. I was feeling like paint or some kind of art or some kind of form of expression would be very important for you right now. Sail Away by Lovely the Band. Will Kev see the end of the year or next year? I would say yes to both, but almost like something goes like hanging on the edge of the cliff is what I'm referencing here. So I do feel like both, yes, this year and next year, but there's almost something that's either a close call or starts to go in a direction that makes people a little worried, but it's almost like you can't figure out what it is, or there's no answer, or there's a difficult solution or something like that. But I would say yes to both. What does the universe recommend regarding a side hustle? Something relating to helping either like come up with a solution for or planning of something that involves communicating with other people. So this could be travel agent, this could be, I guess, like cold call type thing or sales. But I'm being shown you kind of sitting at home, honestly. I don't know if it has to be a home thing, but like there's an opportunity to work either remote or like more of like choosing your schedule, something involving communication and either problem solving or planning. Travel agent. I guess it could be like for some reason, like banking is coming to mind as well, like something like working with finances or scheduling or planning or money, but something communications that involves the phone or reaching out to clientele or potential clientele. Any message from my ex-boyfriend? He passed in a song. He recognizes how much you emptied yourself to make sure that he was full. And he's referencing you doing that often with other people. It's almost like you completely empty yourself out and leave yourself depleted for other people, but there's a need to recognize when that's happening so that you can continue to pour out for others by making sure that your cup is full as well. I have gone through my life review and there are so many lessons still to be learned. The earth is our school of lessons. I'm glad I got to experience so many wonderful things. It feels like that's a major lesson that will really free you as you recognize how much you deplete yourself to take care of others and how you don't have to feel the feelings of like disconnect from self if you continue to pour into yourself as you're pouring out for others. Give me 1 second. I have to answer a text message really quick. Okay. Will my daughter get married again? I feel like the marriage part may be a little up in the air still, but I do see something coming in the future. And it's almost like, depending on the stage of healing of her and that person, that is something that could be, or it just could be that there's some kind of lasting connection that's coming. I'm leaning more towards no, but it's possible. Is kind of how I want to word that. But it does feel like there is a connection that's coming in, even if it doesn't lead to marriage. What is changing for me with work this week? Someone trying to drag you into their mess, or someone trying to have you correct their mess. So depending on like your position. Feels like you release it, you get out of it though. Almost like there's some kind of close call where someone could have dragged you into some BS, but you end up recognizing it and being able to maneuver around it. Should my son purchase the 2016 Honda CRV X from his coworker? I don't love the idea. I feel like it's going to end up almost like there's an unforeseen cost of something, or maybe it's something is misrepresented or something breaks. I feel like there's a better, that could be what it is too. That there feels to be a better option. Yes. Yeah. If you that, I would say that may be a good second choice, but if he holds out a little longer or looks in a different place, there's a better option. Almost like he'll know it as soon as he sees it and he'll be like, oh, that's the better option. This one, and then I'm going to go back on the other list. I lost my dad Friday. Is there anything he would like us to know? Oh, I'm sorry. Friday, 6/28. There's someone, it feels to be someone younger than you that's not going to be taking his passing very well, but will be less likely to let anyone know that they're not taking it very well and try to like hold it in and deal with it themselves. That person is going to need support. Yeah, because see, typically this is like happiness, also wish fulfillment. Typically it's just one person sitting in the middle, but this one has this person bringing them the feast. It's almost like this person will be okay if they have the support, but is unlikely to be like, hey, I need guidance, or I need help, or I need an ear. When you see butterflies, that's me saying hello to you, and stop second guessing and wondering what if. You made the right decision. This is for you specifically, it feels to be. The boys are back in town by, so I'm not really gone. I'm still here. And then I changed it back to the other playlist, and I got Rise Above It by I Prevail and Justin Stone. Feels like a younger male who might not be taking it well, but they can have help to push through it. Is Elle who she says she is? Need a few pieces to this puzzle. Anything from Grandma Ella? The cover Big Lies. No, not who she says she is. Okay, so I'm not who I say I am, as in this person, but there's somebody else that you wouldn't expect that knows that I'm not who I say I am, but they appease and don't say anything. Almost like someone holds this person's dirty little secrets. Yeah, because typically it's just the hangman, but since it's after tarot, she's there giving water. So it's like you're in this position that you're stuck in, but I'm helping to feed it. That feels to be very important for some reason. Like in terms of that puzzle piece, that there's someone else who knows and can confirm what you expect about this person, but they won't do that because they are enabling them. I have a major fear of deep water. Me too. Is this due to something from a past life? I one time paid for lessons to practice learning how to scuba dive, and then once they took me out in the middle of the water, I would not jump off the boat. So me too. Yes, you are defending yourself against something that made you unstable or you succumbed to. You don't want to reach the same ending. So it feels like something water related led to your demise in a past lifetime, and you're defending yourself from that happening again. Subconsciously. Oh. Yeah, I want to defend what I have established here. Will I get the money I need to fix my car from Navy Federal, or should I wait and apply for a loan? Navy Federal. Wait and apply. I would say wait and apply for a loan. I'm wondering if they give you a decision and it's less than what you need, or they drag their feet on giving you a decision to where maybe the rate or something would be lower the other way, but the timing would be the same or something to that effect. It feels like you get an answer and it's not the answer that you fully need from Navy Federal. So I would say maybe do both if you can, but it feels like you end up will go with the loan because something is either better or faster with that. Back to this list. I'm selling my house. Will it sell quickly and for the asking price? I want to take that. Actually, that came out in reverse. I want to say it's going to go smoother than you expect, even if there's maybe a slight drop in price or something to that effect. It's almost like if you were to get an offer quickly and things were able to move forward quickly, but it's like a 5% less. It's not like something big, but it's almost like either an added expense or less slightly, but it feels like it goes well other than that. And it could also be like maybe the people who want to buy it ask for something else to be done and then they buy it. So that could be the money going out, if that makes sense. Like, we'll buy it for this price, but fix this. It could be something like that as well. Is it a good move for me offering the fascia release in my home, or should I look to share a room with someone? in the home, and then you're going to want to eventually be looking to take it elsewhere. Almost like to get your feet wet. That's a good move. But once it starts to go somewhere, then it'd be a better idea to take it elsewhere. Who was I in a past life, and how is it affecting me in this life? Communications, discrimination, accomplishment, and enslavement. It's giving like wallflower, outside looking in, continuously having to do things on your own, likely shunned from family, or like maybe even I'm hearing kicked out. Almost like you went against the grain because you wanted to do what was best for you, and other people did not really agree with that. It feels like how that shows up in this lifetime is trouble with grounding yourself to feel your feelings, because in the past life, when you expressed them, people pushed you out or pushed you away. So it's almost like this: is it safe for me to express without trapping myself into some kind of situation where other people go against me just for what I feel is right, or expressing my feelings? It does feel like there's some kind of wound, though, specifically. Oh, you dealt with people who had a superiority wound. So came out in reverse. There's this feeling of needing to work on self-concept to see yourself as worthy because people made you feel unworthy in the previous lifetime. Trying to see if there's anybody I didn't get on this list. Oh, let me go back to this list for a minute. Should I keep staying or take a break to heal myself? Should I keep staying or take a break to heal myself? I would say take a break to heal yourself. It feels like you're in this constant state of survival mode, and there needs to be like walking away from a commitment. I'm getting the image of like a bubble pop or a balloon popping. So almost like there's buildup of pressure, and the only way to move forward is to alleviate the pressure until you can figure out what to do with what was inside the balloon. So I would say taking a break to heal yourself. Who is lighting my cat balls? I don't know what this means. Who is lighting my cat balls? Oh, like the cat toys are lighting up. This feels like an energy that would be connected to them and not so much you. It's self-exploration. Nothing bad. It just feels like I don't know, cats like are very multidimensional, so it almost feels like it may be them playing with their own powers, or it could be like a spiritual essence connected to them, but it doesn't feel like anything to worry about. My daughter Lauren wants to know if the W mark on her arm is from a past life, and if her fear of fire is linked to that life. I can get. Oh, murder. So I would go with yes. The W on her arm. Oh, government and murder. Well, the W mark on her arm would be an M upside down. Past life and her fear of fire is linked to that life. I mean, self-discovery, part of a group, we weren't able to protect ourselves, the ending of grief. It feels like kind of giving like burned at the stake type energy, or like some kind of I went against establishment type thing. I would say big yes. Yeah, Hermit on the bottom of the deck. Feels like something spiritual related. Go back to this list. Oh, where am I? Is there an underlying health issue for my oldest daughter that has not been identified? And is there anything she can do to help? Yes, because the moon would be something that's not being seen yet, and the star would be it has not been made public, or you haven't found your way to it yet. Knight of Cups. Is there anything she can do to help? Something is working against like pieces falling into place. I don't know if that means nutrition. I don't know if that means needing to get some kind of test. You know those like allergy tests where they test you and you see like what your body reacts well to and what it doesn't? That's kind of what I'm being shown. Like something that's not causing an issue, but is exasperating an issue. And after that lessons, it's like they can figure out where the issue's coming from. Almost like when a building is on fire and you have to clear all the smoke, or you open a window and all the smoke comes pouring out. It's like that. It's like, yes, there's something she can do to help, but it may be difficult to figure out what it is because you have to get to the root of it. So you have to let the smoke out first, if that makes sense. Something's working against her being in flow and is exasperating an already present issue. Yeah, Chariot, two things working together. My MRI is in a couple days for my pineal cyst. What's the energy around the results? So the moon would be my parasite card, but like some kind of toxicity, and then the truth about a change that's seen. It does feel like you're going to figure something out. I'm just going to say that you didn't expect. There's going to be some kind of change that's needed based off of the results, in a way that you didn't necessarily expect, to alleviate a toxic load is kind of how I'm feeling to word that. Almost like the body keeps the score, and the body keeping the score has manifested an emotional hurdle physically, and that's what you're unpacking. Like that is the manifestation of something that energetically you were holding on to. Message from spirit guides. It's kind of giving like calm before the storm type energy. Like there's a need to rest and ease into something before taking action, because there's certain pieces that are coming to you now that's going to help what action to take make sense. So if you're feeling called to rest or just be or observe, allow yourself to do that. It's very important right now. You don't have to always be do, and go. Right now, listen to your intuition about what it's telling you to do in that regard. Okay, I'm going to stay on about 20 more minutes. I have to get ready to go get Gavin. Did I do the right thing by walking away from M? And if so, what was the purpose for walking away? Yes, because this person was going to make you start to repress your thoughts, feelings, and emotions in order to keep the peace. And I actually posted something about this yesterday. What was it? Silencing yourself to keep the peace isn't peace, it's internalized chaos. That's what this is. This person would have made you get into a state of internalized chaos because you would have had to hold back in order to keep the external peace with them. Very to next month. Will everything turn out okay? Your nerves are so that you can avoid something. Almost like if you're a little nervous, you won't overdrink, right? Because you're like mindful of, okay, I was nervous before, I'm not going to be too drunk, or that's just an example. So it feels like the nerves are putting you in a position to trust your discernment. So as long as you trust your discernment, everything goes fine. For some reason with this Queen of Cups, be mindful of overconsumption. But other than that, I do feel like it's going to go fine. But it's almost like this is an opportunity to use your discernment. Court outcome. Will all his lies be exposed? I feel like the outcome goes the way that you would like it to go, but not as much. That could mean guilty with a lighter sentence. That could mean guilty with lighter fines or something like that. But I don't feel like all the lies are going to be exposed. And I feel like that's why it's slightly less than what you would like it to be. Although it's like the right decision is made, but the degree of the ramifications of it isn't all the way where it could be. Did my mom know what she died from? Any messages to myself and brother about that? Did she at the time? No. I feel like she does now, but at the time, this doesn't feel to be anything that she was expecting or anticipating or knew what was wrong. Almost like this message of, I'm wondering if you or your family feels as though she was trying to handle things on her own to not burden you, but that's not what I'm getting. It's almost like if I would have known more or differently, I would have reached out, but I didn't know it, as opposed to like purposely hiding it. It's almost like there's something being avoided about her passing. I don't know if it's the actual grieving process, or if it's like looking through memories or like memory boxes or something, or like reorganizing a room or something. It's almost like there's something being avoided and she's giving the thumbs up, like go, it'll actually help instead of hurt. But there's some avoidance of emotions to be worked through. We are so connected and I will always point you in the right direction. Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Oh, myself, my brother, about dad. Lean on me. Two heads are better than one when it comes to the element of what to know about your dad. Two heads are better than one. Put your heads together for the solution. Thank you for becoming a member. Do you know how much darkness it takes to make a star shine? 3 feels significant with those stars. 3 days would be what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some worry or fear is being alleviated by Thursday. Why does BH watch me so closely? They're being immature about a decision that you made to make a change that they did not want you to make. When it comes to cutting someone off, it could be them. It's like someone doesn't have the access to you that they previously had. And there's this like immature need to like sulk about it. Like when I watch you, I'm sulking. Is my team member stealing my ideas? I would say trying to take and reframe your ideas as their own, yes. So like the blueprint is yours, but they're trying to typically this is just one person laying there resting, but since it's after tarot, this person's there as well. And see how like their eyes are closed and then this person's kind of like looking over them. It's almost like when you're not looking or when I think you're otherwise occupied, I take bits and pieces and try and make them my own. Back to this list for a minute. Will I or have I established a friendship with my soulmate in this lifetime? I would say no. Do you have one that you're going to be? Yes. Has it happened yet? No. Like soulmates, yes, like people who are from your soul tribe, but the connection that you're referencing when you say soulmate, as in like that one particular person, no, not yet. Any message or song from my grandma to my mom? There's something that your mom questions if she's understanding correctly or if she remembers correctly. Maybe she's correct. It could also be like an observation about another person where your mom's like, I don't know if I'm reading that right. She's reading it right. I'm hearing she's all the way correct, even though she heavily doubts herself. Something about being reunited with pets, and when feathers appear, angels are near. Your mom's going to come across some kind of feather. For some reason, I'm feeling to say to have her tell you when she encounters a random feather that really catches her attention, and you are going to go to a playlist and shuffle to the fourth song, and that's going to be the rest of the message for your mother. But for some reason, there's like a message in it for you too, so to do it that way. Will I get a job before Christmas? Okay, so yes, either it's a temporary like stepping stone position, or it's not what you expect. So step out of the box when applying for things. So like it feels to be almost like you apply for something and you're like, I'm not going to get this, but I'm just going to apply because I need a job. And that's ends up what comes in. I do feel like yes, but either that or it's like a transitionary thing. So like I take this temporarily until I get what I actually want, but this is something to hold me over. So one of those two options, but either way, yes. Is the ringing in my ears a sign from someone? Yes, your spirit team, and it has something to do with the thoughts that you're having at the moment. So like I'm having these thoughts, I'm not recognizing I'm having these thoughts, and then I get a confirmation of the thoughts, or I'm having thoughts and I hear the ringing and it's causing me to be more present so I can unpack the thoughts as they're coming to the surface. Almost like speaking without speaking, like instead of like giving instead of a message or confirmation from your spirit team, it's more of like, hey, pay attention, type of thing. My mom is emotional with my pregnancy this time, a girl, compared to me pregnant with boys. Why? My mom is emotional with my pregnancy this time, a girl, compared to me pregnant with boys. Why? I have energy internally that I can't use because externally I feel exhausted and I'm frustrated that I have the energy and can't use the energy. Almost like if there's like a little, well, I mean, I guess technically a little person running inside, but like outside there's no energy. It feels like that. It feels like a disconnect between what I feel like I'm capable of doing and what I actually can produce. And then there's just like frustration. Almost like self-blame, feeling like I should be able to push through certain things, but I'm unable to. That could have to do with morning sickness or something to that effect, or just like low energy. Should I continue the push I have started or just quit and move? What's that quote? It's like pouring good money after bad, like pouring a lot of time, effort, and energy into something that's not producing results or making progress. I feel like, yeah, I feel like moving is the better option here. Almost like you've done all you could in a certain situation and now there's this dead end that requires you to pivot around it instead of trying to knock it down. Any messages for me? There's some kind of solution that's about to be presented to you where you thought there was some kind of dead end. This feels to be almost like an alleviation of a debt. No, not so much alleviation of a debt, more of like an opportunity to bring in some kind of abundance that you felt like you were previously lacking because of releasing some kind of mindset that wasn't serving you. The wheel starting to turn again where it was previously stopped. Feels like either career or money related, though. Progress being made in that regard. But it's like because of a mindset shift, now your reality has to reflect the mindset shift. So the opportunity has to present. You've forced an opportunity to alleviate a stress because of a mindset shift. Any message from my sister? Just got back from visiting her kids and grandkids. Maybe a song. Message from my sister. It's okay to let yourself feel. There's this the cords that you have with others are able to help you swim through what feels like quicksand without the cords. So because other people who are sending love to you or pouring energy into you, or at least there for you, it's like, I know this person will be there for me if I needed them. So I have that cord of attachment, right? It's like other people's energy are helping you right now so that you can sort through what before you would have felt the need to bury without the support, even though it might not be in-person support, if that makes sense. It's like just the energy being there. Pay attention to synchronicities. I am at peace. I feel no pain. I am filled with nothing but love and light. If I Didn't Have You by Thompson Square. So there's an appreciation of you carrying her energy to pass it on to, oh, that's the chord. Carrying her, she's proud of you for carrying her energy to pass it on to those who need it. And now those who have the ability to support your energy can send that to you as well. So let yourself feel what comes up. Should I focus on channeling and mediumship now? Am I ready? I would say yes. You healed something specific. It's almost like this is a computer turning on, because this is like the holy grail. So imagine that, like when you're channeling or mediumship, it's like you type something into a computer and you get the answer back. So this would be the turning on of the computer. And this would be your guides coming and giving you what you need to fulfill this wish, because you healed something specific: anger and resentment and broken trust. You learn to trust yourself for what previously either you allowed or what happened to you previously. You worked through that and you learn to trust yourself, even though a lack of trust was projected onto you. So I would say yes. Let me go back to the other list in a second. How can I stand up for myself against, oh, actually, no, I got to go in 4 minutes. How can I stand up for myself against Carmelita? Does my manager and director know she's doing this? I would say highlighting publicly the ways in which Carmelita does not work as a team or tries to prevent teamwork. Almost like not tattling, but like almost like tattling, but like with a good purpose, because it's affecting the team morale. So not directly tattling, but like highlighting the ways in which she's trying to prevent teamwork from unfolding, if that makes sense. Is my brother going to find happiness? What is holding him back from that is needing to really dig into where the fears are coming from when it comes to getting to know what it is that he really wants. There is some kind of new beginning, but it's almost like he feels to be running from something. Happiness will come when he faces what he feels to be running from. Very difficult time at work with my coworkers. I can't wait to get a new job. Is it coming soon? It's coming, but not as soon as you'd like. Almost like it's going to pick up pace or pick up speed as you start to branch out. I don't know if that means like where you're applying to or the distance in which the jobs would be. It's like you have to go out a little bit further in diameter. Or it could be needing to like revamp a resume or something to that effect, making sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. So yes, it's coming, but the speed, making it happen quicker for you, is going to require some kind of additional action on your part. Trying to see. Did my mom know what she died? Oh, I did this one. Any hope for Forrest? it's either going to get worse before it gets better, or it's like approaching some kind of pivotal point where there's a decision needed to avoid some kind of dead end. Is there hope? Yes, but there's also things that are going to be difficult to overcome. There's hope, but it's not smooth sailing. Is my son R finally in a good place in his life? It feels like there's something lacking in terms of emotional fulfillment, but also it's like I'm figuring things out. I'm figuring out what I want. I'm figuring out how things can fall into place. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on how to get there, but I'm at least aware of what needs to happen. So I would say in a better place, not where he wants to be yet, but on his way. But there are certain things that are lacking, and it feels like emotional fulfillment is one of them. I'm gonna see if there's anyone I didn't get at all. Can you tell me who has been turning on my outdoor porch light at night? It happens several times a month. Do you have a someone who was like a best friend who passed, or someone who it either feels like family who was also a best friend, or a best friend who you considered family? It's almost like I'm trying to communicate to you in other ways and I wasn't getting your attention enough, so I'm trying to do this. Yeah, Queen of Swords. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to communicate to you this way. Next time it happens, go to a playlist and shuffle through the 5th song. There'll be something. It doesn't even have to be a mediumship. It feels like an oldies playlist is kind of what it feels like for some reason. Either friend considered family, or family also who was a best friend. Back to this list. Oh, I have to hop off. I'm going to do about 3 more, and then I have to hop off to go collect my child. Were we sisters in a past life? No, I don't think so. This would be generational family lines, and it's in reverse. We probably went through some of the same things, though. Oh, yes, High Priestess. We similar lessons or experiences. Any message from A or my father? Feels to be A. Yeah, I'm talking to you. There's some kind of movie. It could be. Is there like a musical that reminds you of this person, or that you watched with this person? It's almost like you're being called to watch that again. There's something, either healing or a lesson, or like a puzzle piece that you get from it. Either like a movie or a musical or something like that, to help restore the balance. Almost like a mindset shift would occur from rewatching something that has to do with A, if that makes sense, or something that you watched together. What do me and my birth mother have in common? You have the same wound. Oh, you have the same wound that holds each of you back, and or makes you feel like you're lacking something that would allow you to achieve, or it could be a form of codependence. So you feel dependent on something because of the same wound. Repetitive pattern syndrome. So the pattern both of you have: success and fulfillment gap. Grounding deficit. So each of you are in this energy of almost like mental escapism of some sort, because of facing a wound that each of you have similarly, that almost like you're avoiding putting yourself in positions that could lead to success, but there's also potential to disappoint yourself or others. There's avoidance of that because of a similar past life wound. All right, one more, and then I have to go get my child. Go back to this. Okay. Song from my grandson. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. The ones we love never really leave us. This would be like a breaking of generations being broken. So I'm still there. This person is trying to help you pause to be present in the moment to address the grief that has yet to be processed. It is beautiful where I am and find the strength and confidence to move forward. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. I have to go get my son. Didn't do any for you. Will my son and daughter-in-law get the GM house that they're trying to buy? It's almost like doing a somersault. It feels like there's a need for extra effort in some way. I always feel like it's potential for them to be outbid or them to have to go over their price range in order to do it. And I don't know if they're going to want to do that. I do feel like there is something coming, though. Yeah, the sun. There is something coming, but it might not be that house that they're looking at right now, per se. All right, everyone. I have to hop off. I will be back on probably tomorrow or Wednesday again. Mods, I will be getting to the readings for you this week, probably between today and Wednesday. Anyone who ordered the Sacred Woundings deck, this one, I placed the order for this yesterday. It should be here between the 17th and the 22nd, and then I'll ship out to you. Stand that /Co. If it's not on there, it's not me. I have to go get Gavin. Have a good day, everyone.